This is an important event. According to me, most important, because this is the festival of architecture and interior design, second time, but very innovative and of a different kind. First, it is not talking only about a discipline or a particular work, but we are talking about the issues holistically, and in particular environment, the practice, the place we live, the place we work, the kind of conditions in which we live, the kind of role that we have to play actively and otherwise professionally, and then face also the challenges that we are going to have in the existing conditions, because every city is growing, every place is growing, expanding beyond limits, and as you go along, everybody experiences that where we were last year or 2 years ago, we are no more there. It's all surrounded. And a lot of new things are happening. Traffic jams are there, crowd is there, lot of building structures are coming up, and yet we are talking about where do I work, what do I do, and what is my role. And then we are having new materials, new technologies, we have these mobile phones, we have a lot of information, the client is asking many things, the desires are different, the work conditions are different, and we were educated in a very different way. So those challenges which are there, everybody faces this in the profession. But more so, the younger generation and the older generation, the one which is in the middle doesn't know, both ways they are there. So when you talk about this, and when you gather together of many kinds, many disciplines, government bodies, local bodies, social bodies, developers, contractors and everybody, we are going to discuss these issues, and then we say, what can we do today in this expanding scenario? Where do you live? What do we do? How do we cut short our time? How do we save our energies? How do we become more effective? And how do we really face not only challenges, but also together find common solutions to our environment, to your urban space, to the growth of the city, to the surrounding villages, including regions, and then lastly, the kind of knowledge that we are flooded with. We are no more local, we are global. So we are not isolated saying this is the way I can do. Yes, you can do that, but there are other aspirations and demands. And I think all these issues have become very important, and therefore I believe that I'm so glad that the organization has done for 2 days, but I don't think you can solve this in 2 days. So I suggest that let us assume that these 2 days will extend into a couple of days, or that we'll also decide that every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, locally, regionally, nationally we will meet and we will debate these things. But then finally the question is, who are we? What is our role as architects? What is our role in academics? What is the role if we are teachers or if we are practitioners? How do we influence media? How do we influence society? How do we influence our clients who are only interested in quick bucks and expanding and adding facilities, so-called facilities? Because we are supposed to talk also about, once this is all built, added on, expanded, what kind of environment we will get? What kind of system we will have? Will we have more water? We will have quietness. We will be able to really cross the city in very short time, beautifully, through tree-lined streets. Would our children or friends have gardens, places to sit? Will our client or ourselves or our friends have places to live in which they can be more comfortable? Will there be proper institutions of professionals who can also work, where we can go and teach, participate? And then what we will advise to contractors, what we will advise to building material manufacturers, what we will advise to the government bodies, what kind of things we will do. I think all these things and many more items, issues, will come up during these discussions. And I'm sure end of 2 days we will say it was wonderful that we were there, because so many things we never raised and we are raising it today. And I think that is what is important about this conference. This is a conference where our minds are free, we are free, we are open. But at the same time we have a responsibility. What is it that we will carry back home, and how we would become more effective in really talking about the new ways of living in the 21st, 22nd century. And let us say that each one comes from a place, and would he take that challenge that how do I make my place where I am working important? Where will I have my children go to the school? What kind of education system will there be in our profession? I think a lot of these things will come up. Materials will be there, technologies will be there, clients will be there, finance will be there, everything will be there. But what ideas do we have? And I think the role of this conference should be, in the end, to conclude with some major issues and even find alternative structures to ponder over, so that when we come back home, we have some issues to look at, so that when we have the third conference, we would be able to present those, elaborate them, discuss them, and come back with new solutions. And of course, in the meantime, it will also affect our thought, our attitude, our way of work, and our practice.